kissed into the second game of Nuke.
Yes, Nuke indeed. It is absolutely, I think, a map that we're seeing more of in group stages, which is a bit surprising to me. I agree with Kiz. It's not really one that I would ideally play for a best of one.
I think a Northern Arena is the most popular map as well.
Yeah,
so
it's ridiculous. There you go. There you go. That means that it's going to stay in the map pool, and we're going to have to replace something else for Inferno.
I like the new Inferno a lot. I've been playing it pretty much last week.
That's a nice spray to start the game with.
What was that, Mister?
Good luck, have fun.
That was a nice one. 5 sets of armor for Astralis. They will be starting on the CT here. Presumably they won the knife. And that goes without saying. We go on to the terrorist side. RPK and Superman, Tech 9 and armor. One smoke. We have seen lots of approaches from G2. They normally smoke towards heaven, then go towards ramp. That was really cool. I don't think they do that anymore. Around,
yeah.
Because it's very telegraphed. It was really cool and it was new, but
as soon as you see it once, yeah. I mean, that's the cool thing with telegraphing, though. If you learn that it's telegraphed, you start to use that to your advantage somehow. Maybe go outer with it, but that's neither here nor there. At this point, there isn't much of a change from it. Instead, it's going to be a bust onto the upper site, and it's going to be successful. Smiths and Body finding 2 kills to answer that, by which Dupree opened it with. Shock's in a good position as well. Now, he's pushed back away from lobby. That'll give Glaive a chance to wrap through toward the squeaky door, but they'll know he's there. His whole job here is to deter the rotations, and he's done exactly that. Glaive, the call comes through, Scream's able to turn back, and Shox has just had to stay alive, and this Zipix isn't able to rotate any further. It's all on Device. Now Shox goes down. Device is going to drop away from this. Bit peculiar. No bomb plant coming in yet. They haven't had the comfort in doing so with his position at heaven the whole time. So down to lower they go. This will buy time for Astralis to regroup, though, with these 2 men left alive.
Well, here we go then. Device, he'll be going from Secret, presumably. Zipix from ramp. We'll see whether they can do anything with it. No kits to retake here, and it's going to be G2 holding off in the 2-on-2.
Zipix making a lot of noise. Not quite close enough to hear it, but they'll know now. Decontamination and over toward the control room stairs. Screams on the left. On the right, it's Body. He's got the higher HP at 68. Device already clearing out, sussing out these vents. They've covered off Toxic. They know they're going to be in the back lines. And Device takes down Scream immediately. Body's going to open up Watch Bomb. That gives away his position. 2 men, 1 to defuse, 1 to attack. But the attacker's gone down. Thankfully, Zipix gets off the defuse. Now, 10 seconds and no kit is going to be very close. Oh, yeah, you're dead right. He's just about got it. I can hardly hear it in my ear, but it's going to be 1-0 for Astralis.
Lovely stuff there. 2-on-2, like I said, no kit set. Just have to stick together and try and push in and try and find the crossfires. But Device there, what a shot that was towards Scream. Body does very well there. I thought that's the round over. Takes down Device, just has to check the defuse at that point. Gets his head blown off by Zipex. No for these clutch situations. He finds 2 kills in that round, and it will be 1-0 here on the CT side. We just casted Nuke before. That's how Liquid really got into that first game, winning the T-pistol. It's always a great start to have, especially the CT's force up in the second here, but not meant to be for G2 this time. They get the bomb down, they will be buying up in the 3rd round. So just Glocks and 1 Deagle here. As we get to number 2, it's a chance for these UMPs to start making some money for the Danish side.
Glaive, well aware of the fact that they are crossing over, is going to have Device from heaven taking some shots out that direction as well. And Dupree steps up to find 1, turns around, finds Bomb trying to go through a smoke that didn't cover all the way to the vent, so the split play never works. Smiths is going to try and climb back up, do what he can. Spotted in the end by Dupree. He gets 3 kills in total on the SMG, building up, as you would say, Henry, money, money.
As I would say, money, money, baby. So that round was pretty redundant, I have to say. There's not really much you can do. If you get the bomb down there, that's amazing. You're pretty much just getting it out of the way. This is the round that counts. G2 now, 5 AKs. They have the smokes. A few flashbangs to work as well. Good news for them. Astralis didn't go with a heavy rifle setup there. UMP is still very viable in the rifle rounds, but certainly not as strong as the FAMAS or an M4. We'll see whether they can do anything as we get to round number 3 here and hold them off. If they do, it's fantastic for the CTs, but you do favor this round for G2 pretty heavily.
Body. Aggressive play already toward the outer position. Has a nade going directly to onto him. To 51, but a good shot. Lovely shot, in fact. The catch Device in behind the AC vents. That new position we talk about, that headshot potential to cover the wraparound, and he gets exposed. This is going to give them a lot of ground in the outer position. They've already pushed back Glaive as well. He's trying to find a repeat potential, but that AK from Body is holding off, so Smiths can advance. He's going to spot him through the bottom of the catwalk. Tries to spray in. That actually somehow favors Glaive, who has an SMG, but then craters as he falls down the ladder. That's lovely stuff.
Oh, bit of a blunder, seeing as he got the man advantage for his team, but now it's gone right back to G2. They find a kill. That shocks an RPK, and it's going to be a 3 versus 1 now. Zipex, he's remaining in CT spawn.
Smartly backs away to make sure he's not exposed over to his right, where RPK was waiting out at Secret. Tries to find Scream, knows he's gone up toward heaven, but the 1 versus 3. Zipix doesn't have a kit in this either. He's got a Molotov to work with. Could be something to put on top of the bomb, but already he's pedaling over toward the ramp position, and I imagine is just going to save his weapon in this. So the early buy pays off for G2.
Yeah, so Astralis can buy into the next round, but I think they almost have to save this M4 to make it a reality. They've got about 2.5k on 3 players. I think Dupree is a little bit, yeah, there is 4,200 on him. So yeah, Zipex, if he can save this weapon, that potentially allows him to drop a Famous over, and they will have a reasonable buy going to the next one. Certainly not idyllic, but it's something to work with here. So he wants to try and save this weapon right now. Like I said, G2 heavily favoured going to that round. I thought Glaive had done enough for the UMP in heaven, but cratering, I'm sure we'll see a replay as to exactly how that happened, but bit of a blunder, you have to say. Obviously trying to retreat. Did he fall down the ladder, or was he actually down towards the bomb side? You can take damage from both.
You're right. It's a good point. It could have been the... I assumed it was the ladder because it was closer to where he was standing, but...
You wouldn't retreat down the ladder, I don't think. He'd probably fall back to the bomb side, right? But
it's true,
still,
and you would have caught the ladder.
You've got so many options now. You can obviously drop onto the bomb side. Like, if you fall onto those big silos, there's a big walkway in between them, right? So it's weird for him just to drop down and kill himself like that. But regardless, it doesn't matter.
I think he anticipated Scream to be a lot closer than he was.
Potentially, yes. Well, then, we do have an AWP out for the device. I was thinking with this new complexion of Astralis, he will be the main AWPer going forward more consistently than we saw before when Carrigan was involved. And we'll see what happens at 2-1 as we go into another rifle round here. Mammoth's AWP and just 5 AKs over G2. Going to be looking towards that side for now, it seems.
Glaive sneaks in the side of the smoke to try and cover them off, get the information as soon as they go down towards Secret. They've gone for the wide smokes, more NIP style. This leaves no gap, covers off as well the player that plays at Twinkie, and it's going to work out because Glaive's got to retreat. They're going to get 5 men down. Shox was holding to make sure no one pushed through. I say 5 men, so 4 obviously if you include Shox's position, but either way, good success in that position. Dupree has the crossfire set though with Zipex. This is the most powerful position in my opinion right now on this map. If you can get it established early, good shot from Smiths. That's going to be a problem because now they get the headshot onto Dupree as well, and that whole crossfire falls apart so quickly without even using utility.
It is a very strong crossfire, but you have to hit the shots there. They have perfect coordination, just couldn't find the kills. It will be 4 versus 3. There are 2 terrorists though on very low HP. That's going to be Body and RPK. The bomb yet to be planted. I'm sure it's going down right now. It is in the hands of RPK. He's going to be planting the smoke. That is more NIP style there coming in. As you open those doors up, right-click smoke in, and then you try and get it down. It's a really open plan. It's difficult for the CT to do anything about it, especially when they have an AWP and only 1 kit as well. No needs to speak of apart from a couple of flashbangs here. So they even go for this one. It's going to be a kill required in the next 5 or 6 seconds to make it a possibility here.
Glaive pushing back through the vents. He's going to have Scream to take down Kirby over toward control, which takes his position and limits it tremendously. In fact, he's going to sit. He'll get RPK low on HP, but he's got to find that escape. He's got to tag on Smiths. His teammate Device was already backing away from this, and I think still is. So the fact that he's finding these kills will not amount to anything at all, and fortunately, despite getting all of the kills required, they don't have time to defuse the bomb, so it'll go 2-2. But good reinvestment forced out from Astralis in this case. That's twice they've kept guns up to carry over into the next round as well in doing so.
So this crossfire, like you said, is very powerful. If you can get that kind of set up when the terrorists are actually committing towards lower, it's great. And they get the synergy there as well. One's taking the aggro, one's looking at 5 terrorists in front of them. They can't actually land the shot, so that's the problem. It was done very well, but just unable to find the kills. And ultimately, G2 pick up the round based on that first interaction there. It's going to be 2-2. Still just about a buy available. Like you said, Astralis saving 2 weapons, one of which is the AWP. Going to force up slightly around it because Dupree's got the Mag 7. Zipex just in the pistol, and we go into round number 5 here. G2 coming to life here. It doesn't look like it's be a one-sided affair going forward. It's been quite back and forth so far. Glaive just got the Famous. They've only got 1 kit to speak of, no incendiaries. So this one, G2, they'll be throwing a little bit of utility towards outside, seeing the CDs are pushing here, just trying to work out what weapon they've got available. They know Device saved an AWP, obviously, and he'll be towards Secret right now, looking for that first pick.
Body set for smokes potentially out toward the position where Device is playing, but we know as we've seen them in the past, they go to the right of this, so he can still spot down behind the red crate. It's a good position to be in with this AWP. We saw Simple try and utilize it in the last game with mixed results. One round in particular, he did find a kill. And this is where the gap comes in because they actually elect to walk over inside of the smoke and wrap back. That puts them a lot closer. Device finds one. He's got to go back through the flames to retreat. Only down to 82 in doing so. It's actually a smart play because this will hold them up in turn now from chasing him.
That actually works in his favor, that Molotov's there, as they can't push and get the kill in return. But Smiths are winning the charge towards lower. This is what I like to see. You need to be using either a jump across or a flashbang to try and get out of this choke point. It doesn't look like G2 will be committing. They'll be falling back towards upper, potentially. They still have a man advantage. But in terms of the firepower, you probably do favor them Dupree repositions with that Mag 7. It looks like it will be some sort of execution towards the upper side, maybe going towards Heaven as well. And Scream starts to make his way towards that area.
Shox is still considering the possibility that there could be a push back out from that secret position where Device is playing on the AWP. Looks away at the exact time he does so. Drops bomb temporarily as well, and second time it falls because RPK picks it up and dies immediately. And it's all down to Scream. They know he's in Heaven. 6 seconds round over.
Don't kill him. You want to make sure the round time's out. Device doesn't want to kill him right now. Wait. Oh, that would have been perfect. They do get him regardless, but still. I think Device, he spots him, stay alive, then guarantee him having no money, right? A bit of an overcommitment there, but still manages to recover the orb, so I guess it's fine overall. And
yeah, it's completely fine. It actually works out, like you said, because they do get him after the time, so it works out fine. Very good impact from Device in this round. As you said, that Molotov actually benefits him. They can't chase him out, and then the timing on this. Shox was staring that doorway down, waiting for the repeak, and it never came.
I was going to say it should be an eco at this point from G2, but they have forced one into it. I think it'll be a double eco regardless. Going to try and see what they can do here with the Tech 9s. Tech 9's armor. Smoke grenade. This would suggest a vent drop. Try and split from ramp potentially as well. Let's see what they decide to do. Body has got the AK-47. Flashes towards up at the Kiabi. Perfect position to start locking them down. Finds the first kill. Smith will return as well. They're actually getting the man advantage here, but still going to be equalized down to a 2 versus 1. Shock's the last player remaining, but still doing all kind of out of these situations, especially when he has the AK in hand.
Plant coming through, 1 versus 2. As you say, AK in hand, bit of a smoke remaining to allow him to get toward that hut position. Not sure he would have peeked out in time from Glaive. Regardless, spots him up, tagged immediately through the wall as well. And punch, a huge factor. Astralis will pick up their 4th round, so looking more normal than our last game in terms of the CT sides picking up rounds.
Well, still, finding 3 kills there with the Tech 9s and just 1 AK. Does show maybe some vulnerabilities towards that upper site. I thought Astralis there would have an easy run of it. Kiabi in the perfect position. Only find that 1 initial kill before the exchanges started coming in. 4-2 now for the Danish side. This almost certainly has to be Nuke at this point. I'm going to find out what kind of pause this is. It's going to be Astralis with a tactical pause, it seems. It's back to us. Hello.
Yeah, and an early tactical pause. Is it actually Astralis tactical? Interesting. So they're using them ahead proactively, which is kind of cool, because at last game we said that Navi I thought should have used one and never did, which was a bit surprising to me.
Sure.
Especially when you have a guy like Starks.
Obviously, Glaive, new to the lineup. He presumably is calling now as well. He's got Zonic backing him up. Maybe Zonic just wants to adjust the setup, kind of establish what G2 might be coming in with. Just trying to take some time to work out the money. That could be just a simple thing like that, right? To say, I'll be up against Nico this round. Do you want to take any risks? Do you want to give away one of our big plays early on? Or are we going to sit back? I think G2 have to eco here, so they're probably just working out. Buy some SMGs here. Maybe just don't have to fully invest into this round and just try and mow them down with the lesser weapons.
Yeah, I mean... The thing is right now for G2 is that they can play the long game on the T side. It doesn't take much to build up economy with the loss run bonus, especially if they get bomb plants down.
Yeah.
The problem is they aren't finding the picks at the outer positions, and we're seeing Device swinging very well. I like the dynamic play so far we've seen from the CT side.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just going to... I am paying attention. I'm just looking to see if the buy is coming in.
It's fine. You're allowed to ignore me occasionally.
Yeah, it's okay.
I do it to you 90% of the time.
A couple of Deagles, nothing really... Oh, make it 3 now. 4 Desert Eagles. 5. They keep coming in, Matt, thick and fast. But just 5 Desert Eagles.
The way you like it.
Yeah, and Body does get some body armor as well. He tries to keep that every single round, just so he keep that up with his name.
Well, yeah, body and body armor.
See, yeah, you see what I did there?
I like it.
Got it in the end.
I got it. Well, we'll see if it works for them. It's going to be RPK out on Twinkie early on. Scream's there for a swing repeak.
Yeah.
Interesting push from Glaive.
Deagle's certainly very effective on Nuke. It's a map like Mirage in that sense, lots of long-range confrontations you can take, especially towards outside. RPK does significant damage to himself by falling off silo there. But they are going to be committing towards outer. You can see Shox is on the main roof. He's going to be backed up by RPK outside by Redbox. But Glaive presumably going to get this first kill. Does get spotted. He's getting a little bit of attention from both areas here, the repositions, and he's taken down by Shox here. Eventually does. And it's going to be 2 kills found for Astralis in the meanwhile. So still a 4-on-3. It's
Kirby. I haven't spoken much about him. Obviously, he was the previous change in the lineup that never really came to fold, with Kerrigan still leading. But Glaive seems to be able to utilize him.
Yeah, this must be the first time we've casted him. So
this is the first time we've seen them since the change. Yeah, obviously we had our little 2-week break. Kirby speaking up is going to find Body. Good shot from Scream. As we'd always expect, he takes down Dupree, but it's going to be time up, round over, and a chance to try and... Actually, I take that back. They got him down in the end. I thought it was going to be time up. It's Device to get the kill. So regardless, it's 5-2 for Astralis. Now the guns will be redrawn, and there isn't...
Not really enough at all.
I was going to say there's an opportunity to go to an AWP, but they're not going to do it. I like the AK choice better for the utility. Yeah, the problem is on the CT side, I don't think it's a massive issue having the glass cannon, but I think on the T side, you're vulnerable to like wall bangs and grenades coming in the start. I think you do need that body armor to work with. So they're going to opt for 5 AKs here. It's absolutely fine. As long as you have the 5 smokes, a couple of Molotovs to work with as well, this is certainly workable. And it's going to be round number 8. 5-2 in favor of the Danes. More of a default mentality here from G2, lining up some smokes as well as Scream. Shooting at those windows is nice to be consistent. It means when you fall back, you want to go for an execution. It's already done for you. Try and do that every single round. But Glaive, more aggressive this time. Going to be right up there trying to find this first pick. He could push through the smoke as well. Oh, second time he's tried to get aggressive. Caught off this time by Smiths.
could have worked out. But unfortunately for him, he gives that first frag away. At this point, 1 minute 20 remaining as well. G2 smokes outside. That could be a nice little fake. And we have got some aggression coming into the CTs, I think. Maybe someone reacting.
Well, that's what I was expecting, is he got information that there was at least 2 facing in the outer position. The problem is how close to the lobby were they, because I thought Xyp9x could try and push into radio as a response.
That's what I thought, but it's just Nuke overlay, confusing.
Yeah, well, it's one of those risk-reward things like Daze mentioned. I like that he brings that phrase up, because that's what Counter-Strike is a lot of the times. If he pushes in without information, but it gets him the kill and equalizes it, it seems perfect. But if he pushes in and gives it down to a 5 versus 3,
like simple,
massively problematic, exactly. Well, either way, they've gotten into the upper site. Scream, he's going to hold off Vents and the squeaky door for flank potential. That includes Dupree down below. Device still has the AWP on high. Misses that first shot. Shocks. Lovely, lovely tap with the AK. He's going to put him down. Bomb already planted in all of this. And with 2 kits, there's a chance, but a 4 versus 3, they're down in this situation. They have to find a pick pretty much in the next 5 seconds. They've done it. Xyp9x with 1. He's got no one else out toward lobby either, but Body's going to re-peek and drop him down. This should discourage Astralis, and in fact, the smoke in front of KRB will indeed. Yeah,
I have to save at this point. So when you've got to find 3 kills, the bomb's already ticking away over the halfway point. Just going to try and save these M4s, but there it is. G2 doing some good work at the start. Didn't really have to work too hard, I have to say. Glaive pushing, takes a bit of a risk, like you said. How do you found them with their smokes out, trying to execute towards upper? That would be amazing. We saw C's do that before in the previous game, but unfortunately for him, he had 4 terrorists waiting on the other side with their weapons drawn as well. Take him down at that point with so much time remaining as well. Didn't take too much, just work towards upper, find the kills required, and just bleed the CTs out at that point. It's still money available though, so Device, he picks up the AWP. I think they can balance the wealth and potentially get 4 rifles. I think it's going to be... Okay, so yeah, 3 M4s, KRB just on the Deagle, and they have got the AWP for Device as well. Once again, with the AWPer in these sort of rounds, oh, there was an AK dropped. It's fine. It's actually pretty reasonable. But yeah, let's see what Device can do. Not going to be challenged once again in terms of the sniper for GT. They're actually more than happy to stay with 5 AKs here. They've got all the smokes and Molotovs they need. I think I saw one player drop down towards lower. That was Device. So going towards those secret steps potentially once again.
This is exactly what we were talking about in that swing potential this map offers. If you can get someone to secret immediately in the stairwell, forget the smoke execution, because he's in position to potentially thwart it. Now, I do like what G2 did last time, where they actually throw the wide smokes, sneak up in the smokes themselves, because that gets them closer to the doorway. But this position is so strong. It's just the risk of getting it there in time, because if they rush it, they can beat you to the stairwell.
Oh.
And another thing that Dignitas will do is this exact rotation. They tend not to use it as often as we've seen. I think this is the 2nd time already from Astralis. They tend to use it about once a half. So quick flash over from Shock, self-flash, quick peek as well in toward the garage. No one on the receiving end of it. He'll hold the AK in that position, but look at the slow push with the smoke out from KRB to get inside a hut.
It works out with Device, so it was going to be some sort of ramp split there towards outside, but Shock's taking that on Device. Now it's up to Xyp9x. Perfect play from him. You get the spot there, fall back, and get the teammates' information. The Device now is in every position, it seems. He finds a 2nd kill from the vents, but all of a sudden it comes out to a 3-on-3, but Xyp9x going to be finding 2 kills. Looking for the 3rd as well. Can't get it. Smiths takes him down. 2 versus 1. Smith's low HP as well. 35 seconds. Just going to try and get the bomb plant here and see what he can do after that.
He's got it down to it exactly as you said, 2 versus 1. He's going to try and go for the silo plant. Or is he? Taps away. I thought he was going to commit to that. It will push one player back in Glaive, who goes back up the stairwell, or the ladder rather. But KRB's already on the ramp. Good positioning. Again, Device so smart in this round to be dynamic. Smiths goes for the safe plant in the end. He's still got to clutch this back. Nade's going to put him on 5 HP. It's a hard task. He's got 2 kills already in the round. Manages to cross over to decontamination without getting repeaked from KRB, who is waiting for Glaive to get in position. And he's actually going to rotate all the way in behind. He's trying to be as clever as possible about this and take advantage. They think he's still over toward decontamination. This should get him at least 1 kill, but KRB spots him at the last second, and they'll hold off on the defuse to grab weaponry.
Grab the AWP, it will seem, and there it is. So KRB picks it up. All comes down to Device that round, I have to say. When he plays all those secret steps as well, it's so strong with the CDs to have an AWP there, especially if he's finding frags. And Xyp9x towards the ramp, like I said before, I got rudely interrupted by all these frags, Matt. Why won't they let me finish my point? The way you want to play ramp is, you want to be playing there just for information. You don't really want to challenge that position. It's very difficult to actually find multiple frags, especially you're by yourself. You're playing on those ratings normally. You spot the head, you take 1 shot, then you're dropping down, repositioning, buying time, and giving information for your teammates. And then you can have the surprise back to the terrorists. Everyone's got to come out 2 choke points there. They've got to look on the whole bomb site. Xyp9x is very well to find 2 kills and delay further for his teammates to come into the fray. At that point, we go into round number 10, 6-3. Astralis breaking the economy once more at G2. Not fully, you can see 3 AKs are out, 2 Tech 9s. It's not enough to work with, sure, but still, that's tall order here for G2.
Dupree in main, RPK. Opposing side of that wall has Smiths with him pushing up toward the outer position, and Dupree, a little bit of pre-fire into the smoke, hoping to find someone with it. Shocks instead with the Tech 9 is going to find KRB, so opening pick goes to G2. He's got an M4 to pick up and go along with it. This is actually great for them. However, Dupree sprays down 3, and it's Device to follow up. Scream, he found one in between all that, but Dupree inside the site completely thwarted any possibility of a take in the upper position.
Yeah, normally when you're up those weaker buys, you want to be doing the more set-piece sort of play there. Smokes coming in, flashbangs, try and surprise the CTs potentially focusing towards outside. Like you said there, Dupree mows them down effortlessly, and it will be now a full eco for G2. Some PT50s and Deagles don't really have much to work with in terms of utility. I would say almost nothing. As we go into round number 11, they're just going to be trying to get the bomb down here if they can. Rush side potentially, but the looks of things as Smiths will be leading the charge here with the PT50 in hand. Towards main he goes, but Device, he's been playing great so far, finds the first kill of this round as well, and he's looking for more. Fires off a second, can't connect it just yet, but just going to be farming frags, it seems.
Pretty straightforward. No one even getting close enough to do anything about this. Tag on the Scream through the edge of the box. It was indeed. He'll follow it up. Body. And gets bodied by Dupree.
Nice, you're such a wordsmith.
Thanks, man. That's why they pay me the big bucks.
Yeah. Are we being paid this event?
It's not the mustache. It's the
Okay.
it's the words, believe it or not.
Yeah, if
The
they're not paying-
mustache just adds a nice
if they're
smoothness to
paying
the
up for
words
a
that come
lot
out
of
of these lips.
mustaches, then we're in trouble. This
Well,
should
you're
not-
in trouble.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe you can see mine by the end of this week. Who knows? That's what I'm aiming for. Just be able to see it on camera.
No permanent markers allowed.
5 AKs now for G2. 3 rounds obtained. Looking too great. Sam said it before, Danish teams have always been very good on the CT side of Nuke, and so far so good, but body towards ramp is aggression this time for Device. That's what we're talking about, that killer instinct for the AWPers, trying to make things happen. They've a good positioning from Glaive, can't find the kill, and will be punished as well. Smith takes him down, and it will be the 5-on-3. Surely a round going in favor of G2 at this point. They're being assertive, very quick, but Zipex rotating. Smith's continuing his rampage here. Second kill and a headshot as well. So there'll be 2 players remaining now for Astralis. Kiabi finds one in return, but can't do much more than that.
Dupree tries to capitalize, but RPK is going to find the kill in return. You're right, Glaive, missing those shots.
That was a big
Gives
kill.
himself away as well. He just gets wrapped on immediately
He would have
after.
died regardless if he got that kill. Smith would have come around and just taken him down, but still, he needed to get that at least first kill coming in. That was a bit of a whiff, I have to say. But 8-4. Round number 13, we do have money still available. I think Device has been dropped in. Oh, there it is. Like we said, very influential so far. He's on 15 kills and 6 deaths so far before we've even got to the end of the first half. So a very, very good opening game from Device. Seems like he's fitting into, I'm not going to say new role. They've adjusted so many roles in this team before, but back to more familiar territory for him with the main AWPer as he goes find the first shot down towards RPK, but takes one in return himself.
Device again going to be constantly rotating to change his position. It's over towards CT. He'll see above box for cross, but smokes could hinder that. In fact, okay, switched it again. He goes in toward the locker's position. Smith's already down. Has a real chance to try and open up this round. He could push all the way through this lower site. Potentially cut off Zipex at ramp, but he needs to make sure he's looking the right direction at the right time. Zipex in the corner. Smiths is going to go over to the right. This should give it away. This should be, what?
Oh.
This is incredible. Zipex slips through the door at the same time Smiths goes around. So even when he does everything right, he still can't find the opening kill. It's KRB to find body, but now neither team knows where the other player is. They're both going to call those positions clear. It's up to the kills that ensue elsewhere to really stabilize this for G2. And nearly one coming through from RPK as he gets left on 28. Smith's position finally pays off. Gets Glaive down. Has to find Zipex. He's on the ramp beside him. He's come back up, and he's still not spotted out. They're playing Ring Around the Rosie over and over again. Smiths hears him finally, and Scream will get the information to take him down. That's pulled back now. I have to say, RPK getting KRB, that's a bit of a careless play from KRB to be caught in lobby, but that's good play from Smiths. It nearly gets caught out by bad luck and bad timing.
Dupree can shut this down, though. They will be going towards the lower side in a perfect position to find the bomber, but Scream actually not going to be able to plant just yet. They still have time to work with here, but Dupree very aggressive. Bomb planted, 2 versus 1 now. So that's the key factor. The bomb has gone down.
Absolutely, but Dupree's able to pull back 1 kill. He's on 3 HP. It's 28 for RPK. It's not much better. He's holding this as well. RPK's got a peek. 1 second left on it, just barely in time. He'll deny the defuse and give G2 another round.
The full defuse comes in there from Astralis, but RPK saves the day with less than a second to spare there. Perfect timing, and I have to say though, towards the lower side, I thought Dupree had done a perfect job there. Timing just not working completely in his favor at that point. Had the bomb not put it down, I think it was like half a second separating it, he probably wins that round. He goes with his full defuse, he's already found 3 kills, but RPK, like I said, less than a second there. When it says 1, it's obviously less than that. So it's kind of nuts that RPK timed that to perfection.
Just watched the replay as well. I had the delay on Twitch of Smiths. He's actually aware, once he got to Turnpike, that there was a player that had to have bypassed him because he would have expected to see someone sooner. So he did actually read that quite well, and then the timing nearly caught him a second time, but good information gathered from him. Wraps the round for G2. Pulls it back as well from a 5 versus 3. So the aggression pays off. He sticks to the AK again this round as well. It's going to be pistols only for Astralis. They're finally broken down. And G2 has a chance to bring this to 6 rounds now on a T side, which is respectable. As we say, this map's getting more and more T-sided as we see it. Obviously, last map was a bit of a blunder, but
yeah,
it's definitely looking that way.
You can't really gather too much from Liquid picking up 13 rounds on the T side. That's not really a thing. But yeah, definitely for sure it's becoming more of a even playing field, I'd say. This is another eco for Astralis. It's PD50s, a 5-7. And towards the lower side, G2 will go. Don't need to fully commit at this point. Just try and fill the map out.
This is good from... Oh, I was hoping he wouldn't peek at all. I was going to say that's good from Xyp9x if they walk out carelessly. It would be crosshair placement, but speaking of, it's Kirby and Dupree. Again, Dupol is back, and Dupree finally falls down at the hands of RPK, who got to the doorway. Smith will close out Kirby. Those early kills may amount to nothing at all other than reinvestment. And going into round 15, that won't matter because there won't be saves following up. They'll be able to buy if they win the round. If they win the round. Damage coming in and nearly taken down. That was very awkward from RPK.
Yeah, well, Device there certainly had the opportunity to take the bomb planter down, but he was punished himself. We're going to round number 15 here. 8-6, like we said, 7. Very respectful for G2 if they can pick it up. Certainly had the advantage in terms of the weaponry. The first time we've seen the AWP come out, I think, for G2 in this terrorist half is going to be in the hands of Shox this time. And we go into an Astralis very weak by indeed. 5 and 4s. It's been Device who's been hugely influential with the AWP, especially in the earlier sectors. And 1 kit, a couple of smokes, 1 incendiary. And we'll see what happens here. They can actually hold them off of this lesser buy. A lot of damage taken from Shox at the start of the round for the Molotov.
He's got the AWP. Body goes in, flash through. They don't anticipate the push from Hut to be, or rather, excuse me, from Squeaky to be so effective, and they catch off the player in Hut. Good response from Dupree as a result. Meanwhile, Shock still trying to use that AWP to his advantage. Missed shot. In fact, you had the crosshair placement on. Overreacts on the flick. It gives Dupree not only the kill on him, but a follow-up on Scream. It brings us down to Smiths and RPK. And speaking of the former, he'll pick up the kill on Xyp9x. Low HP on Dupree now becomes a factor because Device gets caught by RPK, and Dupree's stuck in the corner. They know exactly where he is. Taken out. Again, they could pull back from a deficit as Glaive, the new boy on the team, the new leader, has to make this play work. Finds one in the open, goes for the transfer, but thankfully for his sake, Smith was dropping down because if he wide peeked for a kill on a trade, it could have been promising. Smart as well to put the Molotovs in place so Smiths can't, or excuse me, Glaive can't immediately go back down, but he goes for the fight. And he doesn't time it right because the Flames had gone a second sooner than he could get in position.
Well, there it is. It will be Astralis picking up round number 9 there. G2 can't find that final clutch there. Lots of clutches in this half, Matt. Lots of tense rounds there. And you can see Astralis taking the lion's share overall. And it was G2, though, to be fair to them, losing the pistol, managing to find 6 rounds is still very respectable overall.
So a good round overall from Astralis, but a comeback late in the half from G2 on the T side is impressive. It's a dead even game. We'll be back in a bit. was a lip-licking half to start things off between Astralis. What? That was good, I thought.
It was okay.
Astralis and G2. It's pretty even, I have to say. G2's fought back valiantly late in the half.
Yeah.
Good addition, I think, Glaive so far. He's shown some promise, but again, it's early on for us to see him. Obviously, they had good results at E-League. G2, good results at Northern Arena.
This is where it matters. T-half, you're the caller now. Got to step up. Zonic can't really be your crutch. Obviously, you have the pauses to work with, but this is when he'll be really tested here. We're going to the pistol. Let's get straight into it, shall we? 4 sets of armor. Glaive, he's got the P250 and the smoke and flashbang. Default for now, from what I can see. Not really giving too much away, waiting for any aggression to come in from the CTs at the start. And Shocks, he might walk into the Lion's Den here. Going to be pushing ramp.
Good push from Device, as you say, though, and to counter that, as he has the position covered off, Shocks gets a little bit over-aggressive. It's going to be the first kill going the way of Astralis, and that's very aggressive early in the round as well for Shocks to be going. Usually we see those pushes, but around the minute mark, and we're only at the minute 15, G2 at least pull it back in the form of Body getting Glaive.
Yeah, if you're going to push ramp like that, you want to have refrag potential, right? Like obviously, if you walk into a crossfire like that, you want to have an option to get the second kill and then fall back and still at 4-on-4. Shocks taking a huge risk there at the start of the round, I have to say. But still, 4-on-4. Body did find one in return, so that's fine. They're going to be actually focusing maybe towards an upper play here. You can see 2 players towards outside. I think the other 2 are in the hut as well. So Dupree, he'll be towards that position. Zipex still tentatively looking towards ramp. Not going to be with that bomb just yet. He'll be spotted towards outside. Takes a ton of damage as well. He'll be dropping down and joining his teammate Device.
Device wrapping into the site. Can't spot the player behind the yellow crossbeam. That's a problem because he wants that kill. He still finds it body low.
Oh.
But Scream and Smiths have pulled this back. Bomb gets dropped temporarily. 30 seconds, lots of ample opportunity to pull that back, but only if they find the kills. And kills not coming their way as RPK takes Device. Dupree in the site caught out. And RPK played that crossbeam position to perfection. Hardly showing anything toward the main entrance. Gets damage in, survives with 3 HP.
I have to say, why I got excited there, I'm not sure if you noticed, that second shot from Device with the PT1000. This is how we're going to play it right now. It's absolutely sick the way he got there. He's got like limited ammo left. Boom.
Yeah, that's sick.
Screen just got absolutely wrecked.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, that was cool. But still, not enough to win the round, it seems. G2 get back into this one. Should be 9-9 here, presumably. But Astralis do force by in the second. No bomb going down a pistol, pretty standard. But no grenade. Zipex maybe rushing towards the vendors. Open up Squeaky. And he got that Tech 9 in hand, so can't really do a ton of work with it. But Body might actually give him an opportunity. We get into the second round. So like I said, the problem is with no smokes at all, it's difficult to imagine a world where they're actually gifted any sort of opportunity to do anything with these Deagles and Tech 9s. You probably want at least one smoke to maybe get a bomb down towards lower, maybe flash out of hut and try and get down the vent. Something like that is something, a concept, instead of just trying to work these initial frags.
Free with the Deagle. We've seen this work multiple times. Flash goes out. It's actually a team flash as Smith gets blinded temporarily by it. It pushes him back, and that actually serves Dupree well because he catches him running backwards, and the Deagle hits the headshot.
Smith's a little bit out of position there. He gets overwhelmed by the terrorists. One in garage, one right in front of him as well. Decent flashbang actually removes him. So it's going to be now 5-4 in favor of the Danes. Still haven't managed to salvage a weapon. I think Smith's only had an SMG, so not really that beneficial for the terrorists at this point. They will be just be biding their time, not giving anything away, but Scream with the Max 7, he does find Kiabi. So equalizes things just like that. 4-4, and Scream, he's got control of ramp from.
Shotgun in hand as well. Has to try and keep himself almost in the middle of that position where he is because it's the closest angle from either approach. Zipex meanwhile still with the Tech 9, is waiting and hesitating at lobby for Dupree. He's the one he's holding up for to win this battle at Heaven, because if they get this, they'll be able to split well. Glaive's got the kill on Body. It's followed up. Now they can go. Shocks has to make a play out from the vents, caught off by Device. It's down to Scream. 12 HP. This round, I'm afraid, is gone. It's been stolen away from Astralis, who's going to find their 10th round.
Yeah, Smith's the first player to go down towards outside there. MP7 in hand, can't find that single frag, and that opens up the door of opportunity for Astralis. They managed to actually pretty cleanly win the round after that. Just be Scream remaining. I think he found the only kill this round, yes, with that Max 7 towards ramp. That's about all they got from it. So, staying alive at this point. He's got a Tech 9 as well. He can drop that to a teammate next round, I guess. It's something to take into the next round, but this was a purely pistol victory for Astralis, just as I painted as well. They didn't have any grenades ready to work with there, just actually working together as a unit towards outside. Maybe G2 allowing them to have a little bit too much room. That's almost the worst of both worlds there. There's one player by himself in a poor position. Didn't have anyone to back him up and see what take him down. That was actually Astralis capitalizing that point. Scream will survive with his Max 7. Like I said, he can drop the Tech 9 over, and there will be a pause coming in at this point.
I imagine it's going to be G2.
G2 tactical pause, from what I can see, yes.
Yeah, so that doesn't surprise me. Early in the half, it seems, considering they won one, and then, whoa, don't pull on the cable. It makes me
Never
go quiet.
Never do.
Good advice for you to follow, Henry. Yeah, I mean, it seems early, but again, they've got 4 to use. They didn't use any in the first half. We saw Astralis actually use when they were up, score-wise, so I don't blame them for this.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about pauses now. You can use them when you're winning as well, and they're not necessarily like you're going to change anything, but just to kind of like I said, calculate the money. You've got 4 pauses now. You might as well use all of them, and just work out what's going forward. Whether you can adjust anything, it can actually be a little bit tilting for the losing team for you to take a pause and you're winning. Believe it or not, the mind games there, like you just want a massive round, then you pause it straight away, let them dwell about it a little bit. I think that's quite a cool idea.
Yeah,
that's something I would do.
I mean, I talked about it. The first event we saw, that was ESL1 New York, and I talked to Hiko, and that was the event, if I'm not mistaken, that teams, we all kind of interpreted it. Apparently, it was never written this way, but it's 2 per half. And I said to Hiko, if a team uses them in the lead, what's the advantage? And does it break momentum? And he said, yeah, momentum is the big thing. You can actually deter other teams who are trying to make a comeback. Maybe they, you've won 5, they break. They hit the reset, then they win 2 in a row, and it's like, okay, they got a chance to get back in. Just call a pause right then, and you can break that from them because they're starting to get a little wind in their sails. So there's some interesting usages for it now.
So I'm going to have a look at the buy for G2. We have got back into the game. It will be a max 7 screen that was saved in the previous round. They have got head armor across the board, which is interesting. That is not... Oh, it is a full... Okay, I was going to say, Scream's got 2k effort, but he survived, right? So it is pretty much a full investment into this round. So we've got 5 7s. We've got a Tech 9. So it was dropped from Scream. And a couple of nades to work with Device. Looks like he's just going to be going for that first kill. Opens the door for his teammates. They don't really find anything towards Upper. But now the kill's starting to come in. And G2 finding 3. All of a sudden, this is looking favourable for them as RPK finds it 4th as well. Just going to be Glaive remaining. Is Upper Rush.
Timeout works.
Yeah, you know what? Apparently it does. Okay, so that's Astralis there. They get the pause time as well to kind of discuss what they're going to do. They know the money's weak. They've saved the shotgun over. Let's go for the upper rush. Why not? No one's going to stack up. Why would they do that? And you can see this crossfire coming in. The teammates from the upper bomb sites allowing Body to come in the side. They do a ton of damage to main entrance. And it falls apart. And G2 gets straight back into this one. 10-8. We go to round number 19. It is going to be a partial buy. Not so much a heavy one. You can see if this is Deagle's no armor. Dupree's got some head armor. That's about it. No nades again. But it's worked out before. Maybe it can work out again.
Glaive Deagle already pushed up toward the red crate. Has a teammate as well getting on top of the silo. That's Device. Gonna drop down on top of HUD as well. Same buy, similar buy, not quite identical, but similar buy to when they did steal the round away from G2 in the second, around 17. See if they can do the same again, but Smith is in a good position back towards CT. Great shot as well. Dupree got the first bullet toward him, missed it entirely, and then he gets the headshot. Covers off the fact that they're rotating. So this is more the passive approach I was talking about to Outer that I suggested Na'Vi could have gone for. They sit, they wait, they give them the control, but they contain the angles they have to. So one at lower bottom of Secret Stairs, another at CT for the wraparound on Catwalk, both of them finding kills.
This time, though, pretty much identical setup for G2, but the round they lost before, Swiss is in a position where even if he got 1 kill, he's going to be taken down. This time, he goes back towards CD Sport. Yes, he has a better weapon, there's more options there in that regard, but at least, even if he spots him, he can stay alive. There's some sort of fallback option there. So that's why they actually capitalized in that round. Dupree can't take him down. But we go to round number 20. G2 closing the gap, and it's going to be 10-9 here. We do have rifles available for Astralis, but no AWP yet. So still struggling going forward. It's going to be 4 AKs and Dupree just in the Desert Eagle. But to be fair, I would say it wouldn't be those inaccurate statements to say he's one of the best Eagle players in the game right now. So that's absolutely fine.
I think that's a fair statement. In terms of consistency, he's not necessarily the flashiest, but he's dead accurate when he gets himself in a good position.
Exactly.
Kirby's the one to go up on top of Twinkie this time. Glaive outer, smoke in front, jumps over box. They'll put him beyond it. Smiths can't land the shot on the AWP. But smartly doesn't overcommit to it. He's going to rotate back. Elbow shot out from Glaive. Baits it successfully. Second one as well, getting a lot closer. The AK in position, but Smiths will eventually prevail through the glass at Lockers. And it gives him the pick. Second shot coming through. 43 HP, goes for another. He's got to back away now. 18 HP.
Still surviving, find the first pick. You would have thought he would nail that second shot, but doesn't quite deliver, but still 5-on-4. That's the headline here, and Shox does take down Device. So it looks like a round where G2 should be tying things up at this point. It was a bit of a difficult buy for them. They've still got Dupree, who's only on that Desert Eagle. He's towards Squeaky Door for now, and it's going to be another kill for Scream. So that pretty much cements the fact that G2 will be tying things up at 10-10. Just Zipex now. There it is, a clean sweep there for G2. Comes from now the AWP as Smith finding the first pick, gets the information, falls back. There will be another eco for Astralis as well, so the first time for a G2 to really start getting themselves in the lead here. And as soon as will be a full eco at this point, there's some PT50s purchased for Astralis. 4 of them to be exact, no nades, just Jet Device. Like I said, the AWP hasn't really had that much impact in the second half. I think he finished the first half, Matt, with potentially, was it like 18 kills overall? Only found 2 so far.
Yeah.
Maybe, what, 5 rounds so far. That's not really too much into it, but still, I want to see him get the AWP out and start having similar sort of level of play we saw in the first.
Smith's on 20 kills. Device already from in main. Oh, this is, oh, that's such good positioning for him to be there that quickly. Almost catches his body off entirely, but he stays alive, 6 HP. He's going to hug the corner. Molotov back out in the direction of Squeaky to make sure they can't push through, but a nade in turn would kill him. He didn't, it must have bounced.
1G.
That is actual 1G.
That's like,
it didn't reach the door when we saw the other angle.
He didn't even run through it. He literally dropped to his own feet.
It must have clipped. I don't know what it clipped. I got to see that.
It looked like a cool little Molotov he was throwing. Oh,
I don't think, either you've got to take a step forward to bounce it far enough, or we didn't throw it high enough and it clipped the vent, but that is hilarious.
It's a little ridge there, right? So it could have like bounced in the corner of where the little ridge is and then landed on his feet.
That's incredible. Doesn't matter. They win the round.
It doesn't matter. But still, like, it's just like a meme in CS:GO now, isn't it? If you
it is.
Yourself.
Yeah, the 1G. That's. Can I get them in the chat?
Undoubtedly, you've got them in the chat right now.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
I think you've got those.
Well, Zippix, they've got to do something now. Astralis to pull back in, has guns up again. They've got the Vice AWP, but it's a glass cannon on the T side.
Yeah, that is a bit of an issue. We say on the CT side it's not a big deal, but for players like Device now, he's got to go and face the choke points towards ramp or squeaky door, or the wall bang potential in those positions, and especially with the nades as well. It's much more difficult on the offensive side to make the glass cannon work. Let's see whether they can do anything with this. More of an execution-based play here. The smoke's towards outside. They come in, and we'll see whether they can find this first big. Device will be sticking on silo. If he can get up there, that is. Still not managing it. There we go.
Chalks and Device countering each other on either side. So right now it's going to be Device trying to get the AWP in a position to try and cover off secret entrance, wait for anyone to push through as he was doing on the CT side. Remember we talked about that swing. Gabby and Glaive will advances. His coverage is sufficient to do so. And Smith's very passive. He's going to try and play an angle that he covers the wrap. So again, he's putting his AWP. Now that's a very tight angle to hold, considering that I wouldn't ever look that direction. I think he put himself in a position to get an easier shot.
We've seen players use it before, like when saving a weapon, you can barely see their head there. So there's no way anyone's going to be checking.
They're looking.
So this can work out.
It's interesting because they are looking for it because he was there 2 rounds ago, I think it was at this point. They want the shot. Glaive goes out. They do know he's there. It works out. So I eat my words because he doesn't need to play in the open. He makes the first shot successfully, and Glaive's not going to repeat that from the top of the roof, even though he had an angle toward it. Meanwhile, it's at Hut instead, and that's why Glaive wants to go back. He wants to be in the fold when they walk in from main, and it works out. He finds RPK, but body, cross-beam position, covered up by Glade. And it's going to now be 2 versus 2, but Scream's positioning coming back up. Bomb being held. Device AWP up close, has to play this right. Hears it, but can't read it properly. And Smith's, other Scream, one of the 2.
One of them
is going to get the kill. It's going to be G2 on 12 rounds as a result as well.
Yeah, and I think that's 5 rounds in a row now. So Astralis with the bomb down, maximum loss bonus can still buy into this round, but still, that's actually quite a cool idea from G2. Like, you don't break it down really. If they've got lower control, like Secret, they've got someone playing there as well, and they shut down this wrap potential as well, and that really quite strong position overall. It's actually quite a cool little setup they've got going on there. So Smith finds 1 kill, survived as well, and funnels them towards the upper side, and that's where they managed to close around out as well. 12-10. Like I said, maximum loss bonus, $3,400 on top of the bomb going down as well. So that means they get a 5 AKs here. No orb as of yet for Device, but see whether they can do anything with this. AK setup, got the smokes to work with, Molotovs as well, but Smith is back towards outside of the orb. More on an aggressive angle, not really fully committing to the first pick, but looking towards silo for now.
Glaive's made it by the smokes.
So this is the idea of that they tried to sell that they've gone towards Secret, right? Just 1 player going down there, NIP are a team to do this a lot, and then you go to the ramp split. So 4 players towards ramp, they'll be trying to go towards lower, and then he'll be holding the rotations. Glaives is trying to get information, something coming from Secret, and then watching the vents as well.
And that's actually quite smart to push Scream back that far. Now, I thought Zippix was going to pursue. Thankfully it doesn't, because the flash would have caught him off, but they've got lower, as you stated. Glaive already down as well. Question is, and I can't quite see it in the minimap, but they've cleared decontamination. Great flank back in from Smith, so Glaive gets caught. And RPK, he still is at decontamination, so they haven't cleared that off. That's going to drop bomb. Device is able to trade with Shocks, but they don't know RPK's here. However, door opening gives him away. Flash comes through. Kirby jumps in. Bomb dropped. RPK wins the duel, and they've got a 4 versus 2, make it even less so, as RPK and Scream are going to close it out entirely.
It looked perfect from Astralis there. They got the player towards Secret. That was the objective to start the round. Mission complete. Get control of ramp as well. That works out. We had to have a pause coming in, but still, that was looking so promising. Glaive in a perfect position. That means they don't have to look towards Secret at all. They don't need to worry about that area when they're going towards the lower side, but Smith's, like you said, perfect timing on the rotation in terms of the flank comes in, he finds that big kill, and the round is just falls apart from Astralis at that point. Didn't find a single frag there, I don't think. So, 13.
They had one. There was a 4-man situation, so they didn't find another on the take. They found the original pick.
I'll take your word for it.
You should. My word is as good as gold. You always trust a man with a mustache this beautiful.
Yep.
That's why I don't trust you.
Can we stop it now?
No, absolutely not. You're going to get ridiculed all week for that.
Actually, I think it looks all right. Look it up.
It's all right.
Looks about 2 days.
Yes, well, we are
though.
dwelling on that. I think you said it. This is where Glaive and Astralis are going to have to show their real form with him calling now. Obviously, E-League was great. Navi struggled this morning. I think struggled a little bit in that group. That was essentially the group of death with SK having to qualify back in. And now Astralis here are looking like they don't really have a plan. Again, last round you would say it looked organized, but G2's reading it well enough to counter it.
It did look very good. I like the approach to that. It's one of my favorite strategies to do when you've gone outside a couple of times and you get one player there, and you're going towards ramp, you're trying to find one kill. Even if you don't find it in a great position to pin to the lower side, this didn't really seem to come to fruition at all, did it? And now we have another, I'm going to say partial buy, I'm going to assume considering them lost bonus, yes. So just 2k in the bank, so they get some Tech 9s and some armor, a few smokes to work with here. Back towards ramp they go. Doesn't look like there's much presence there from G2. Just Scream, but I was about to say more than happy to take that first actual exchange, but there's going to be Astralis finding those 2 frags and the man advantage, and they pick up an M4 as well, but Smith's fighting back.
Dupree going to try and slip in through the guys at the smoke it. Hot position. Xyp9x has picked up that M4 as well. Dupree could potentially get through this smoke and catch off RPK if the timing is in his favor, because RPK is looking both directions, dropping down. That gives him away, but he can't land the shots. And the M4 will prevail. He gets tagged only once, down to 50 HP. Xyp9x, more importantly, has to win the duel against Smiths. Can't do it. Smiths continues to put up good numbers on this Nuke game, because that M4 kill coming in would have split it inside of the site. And with bomb down, he could have played the post plant from the ramp quite successfully, considering it's on top of the silo as well. This is getting a bit hairy. In fact, Smiths goes to 13. RPK tagged to 42. Are they off? Okay, there was still on it. I couldn't. I saw 2 players jumping and I lost track of the third. I was like, uh-oh.
It's too hot in there, boys. Just leave it. Let it go. Let it go.
Well, 14 rounds now for G2.
Yeah. What got a bit interesting, that Molotov dance. I think the CDs threw that themselves to flush out the player behind the silo, but obviously got a bit scary. But still, 14 rounds now, 1 round away from map point here for G2. After losing the pistol on the T-half as well, actually doing a great job to get back into this one. Looking pretty strong. They said they came into this tournament revitalized. They're going to show that the previous LAN was an anomaly. They're going to get some good form and show us what they can do here at IEM. And so far, so good. Astralis, certainly I wouldn't say a favorite for the group, as one of the bigger names and one you'd expect, or at least hope to, have a bit of a dent here in Oakland, but still, Device finally on the AWP here on the T side. Look for that first pick. Maybe too little too late. We'll see whether we can get anything going here. As this is a very deciding round going forward. After this investment of the AWP, he won't be able to get an AK next round. We'll see what they can do. Body finds that first frag once again as Dupree that goes down. A big scalp to take.
Smiths. And 4, perfect position. Glaive walks into him.
They look a bit lost here, don't they?
Yeah, they're not covering off the right ground. Walking in again, no utility. Scream's able to pop out. It is traded by Kirby this time, but they're so far down in the round. Forget the trades.
Yeah, there was no real rhyme or reason to that round for Astralis. Just hoping they find that first pick. When it wasn't gifted to them after they lost the first pick in lobby, just running 1 by 1 towards outside into the pretty standard positions of the CTs there as well. It's going to be down to Device with the AWP in hand, and like I said, he's heavily invested into this round. He probably won't get the bomb down, which means he won't have much weaponry going into the next. He needs to try and save this AWP, as weird as that sounds, considering his position. So I think he's just going to hold the vent and hope he can no-scope players dropping down potentially for the next 25 seconds. So that should make for an interesting cast for you. So why don't you go ahead and do it?
Yes. So it's yeah, it's definitely interesting. I couldn't even think of the words. I was going to try and get clever and just talk about time.
Or F1.
You could talk. I haven't talked about Formula 1.
Not yet. We're being good.
Felipe Massa.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that it was serendipity in a way. I think that's the right word for the way he went out.
I don't know the context, so I haven't.
Well, basically, it was his last home Grand Prix. He wanted to finish and salute the fans. Instead, he crashed out right in front of the pits. It closed the pits, so when he walked down to salute everyone, everyone had the opportunity to come out and congratulate him. It was more poetic that way. It was actually couldn't happen in a better way.
Do you think it would be poetic if Astralis can get back into this one?
I think it would be poetic if Rosberg beats Hamilton for the championship.
Me too.
But
anyway,
it might be if Astralis is able to do so. I'm not convinced. 1 round was an eco win against G2 so far in this half. It's not promising.
Yeah, that's all they've got so far, is that second round force buy with the Deagles. So, 5 in a row required. Now the audience will be gun rounds. Like I said, could be quite poetic if Glaive works out. They've got more pauses available. I haven't really taken them yet, but they're going to have the AWP in the hands of Device once again. Boss has a saved weapon, and then the 4 AKs have a bit more utility to work with this time. Glaive by himself towards Outer. We've seen this before. Managed to get themselves in good positions, just couldn't do anything about the rotation of Smiths before. Glaive trying to do exactly the same as we saw before, so let's see if we can get in that similar position, but can't. Shox takes him down, and this makes this a lot less tantalizing for the Danes, as Scream will be holding his ground towards ramp, but can't find a frag. 4-4 now. Rush towards lower, boys, I think.
Well, they're going to have to try it. Smiths has made it inside the Molotov, though. That could be huge, because his timing on the flank could cost them dearly. Low HP on Xyp9x. 2 players trying to peek out, though. He can't decide where to fire first.
Oh,
and he's running low on ammo because it's the M4A1. As such, Device able to take him with the pistol. Jumping down, Device is going to take out RPK, but Body pulls back too. And that gives them the ramp to work with Shox still pushing in through the tunnels. Body's got opportunities as well, with an AK, an AWP, and some flashes to work inside of the site with. Both have kits, it should be mentioned, for G2 as Shox already clears out Stairwell into control as we see it. He doesn't yet know it. No one in that corner. Dupree, he capitalizes. This now gets awkward for Shox because he's got to walk out, open doors, give away his position, and they've got a crossfire set.
There it is, the first of 5 picked up now. It's going to be 15-11. Astralis, after losing that first frag as well, as Glaive. Pretty much identical strategy we saw before, which got them in decent positions, but they couldn't finish it off. This time, it was actually starting off worse than before, but they maybe managed to get themselves towards ramp. Like I said, Scream, when you have the man advantage, I'm not sure I'm a big fan of him staying to that ramp altercation. Probably wants to get the information, keep the 5-on-4 in their favor, like we saw. Great work in that previous game. I think it was, I can't remember who did it, amazingly. I think it was one of the Liquid players, I can't remember exactly now, but still, you try and stay alive as long as possible, fall down, and then you find the frags as they're coming in with your teammates rotating in as well. Scream takes a bit of a risk, tries to finish it off with some glory there, but meant to be a double AWP set up for G2 now. Shox and Smiths working together. An upper split from Astralis.
Good shot, Smiths on the first. Kierby goes down immediately. This time they're putting themselves in a great position to wrap up the game, but as soon as I say that, Astralis finds some frags and favored, walk into the upper site. Xyp9x again with now a second kill as RPK and Smiths fall. Shox and Scream, 2 big names who have played a quiet game, I have to say. Almost on the back seat of RPK and Smiths to try and clutch this back. You laugh because that's not a common sentence, but well, they would be carrying.
I will go further into that laugh in a second, but let's get into this one. 3-on-2, Shoxy and Scream, AWP in hand as well. Probably the best weapon for this exchange, and it's going to be his teammate dropping as well. I think he has to save the weapon. What made me laugh is, obviously, there's a bit of an elephant in the room with this G2 lineup right now with recent events in terms of what we've seen on Twitter and Reddit recently.
Are you talking about casters?
No, I'm talking about Smiths as kind of been the talking point recently, right? In terms of his performances and stuff like that. Look at the scoreboard right now. He's actually like 28 kills, 16 deaths, like he said recently in like blog posts and stuff like that. He's like, he doesn't care what people think and all this stuff. It's obviously been a big talking point. It's just kind of funny that after like the first big tournament, after all these discussions, like he's just lighting it up and like playing in really good form right now.
I just thought it was funny, Henry, that we go away for 2 weeks and all the world hates casters.
Yeah, right.
You know? We are the heroes that everyone needs. What can I say?
Yeah, that's true. That's what I was thinking as well. But yeah, this is like, I think someone's going to have to address it at some point in this tournament. Just kind of like,
totally.
Discussed,
I mean,
right? It's okay to talk about it.
Yeah, and I, to be fair, I don't blame the casters entirely for the hate. A lot of that came out naturally based on his performances. It's just spewed off, and I have opinions.
I think it's just been building up for so long. That was just
exactly. And maybe, and I won't deny that it's probably gone too far in certain cases with other players as well, not just Smiths. But I mean, the players calling it out kind of shows that they have the same influence that they accuse us of. So anyway, there's a whole bunch of stories to it. I won't disagree with the claims made, but again, I was away. I didn't really follow it in detail. I tuned out a lot of CS when I was away. It was great. I enjoyed the beach and alcohol.
Which you didn't drink.
I actually didn't. I only drank one night, and then I realized it was way too hot in Bali to be hungover. It was abysmal. Shox is going to start it off. Device, he's the one to go down. He gets tagged up as he transitions back over toward the hell position in toward lockers, but Dupree's meanwhile already gone inside. Now this is the position that's so promising, and it's read by Dupree. In behind that yellow crossbeam, waiting for the positions to give themselves up. Glaive's going to take down RPK immediately after, but it's still the man advantage for G2. And the smoke has a slight gap. Smiths is going to get spotted. That's a good play from Xyp9x to wait patiently for that to present itself. Now he'll bring the bomb to the site. Quick bait out, and the smoke's about to dissipate. He's going to stay on the inside of it. I think I disagree with that. I think you go to the safe side of silos and let your teammate cover for the plant, because now it's just Kierby 1 versus 2. Shox and Scream again to clutch this, and this time they've got the advantage. Smoke disguised as a flash to try and force him to turn away and allow Scream to peek, but he doesn't exactly fall for the bait, and as such, it doesn't matter. Scream's going to find the kill, 16-12.
Astralis not really turning up in the T-half at all there, Matt, I have to say. The only round